The city of Brownsville is taking the lead in a county-wide effort to understand the root of the homeless crisis. Channel 5's Gabriela Garza tells us it's a complicated issue, made more so by a lack of knowing just how many homeless are here.
We see them every day, roaming the streets, working odd jobs, trying to earn whatever money they can. We may never understand nor ask how they got to this point. Many suffer from a mental health illness, addiction. The #1 cause of homelessness is loss of a job.
Most of our individuals are chronic homeless individuals, so they've been out in the streets for years. It's usually the same ones.
Julia Lash, program manager for the city of Brownsville, says the city's goal is to treat the root of the homeless crisis. They can't do that unless they get an accurate count as to how many street people are here.
I was on the streets for about 7 years.
Jorge Chavez is one of the hundreds of homeless people who live here and get counted every year. The city of Brownsville does its own count of the homeless called a point-in-time count. This count means something bigger than just the final number.
So depending on how our number turns out this year, it'll determine whether our grant will increase or decrease. So the higher our number it is, the more need we demonstrate to get that grant.
In 2016, Lash says they were low on volunteers and only counted 177 homeless people living in the entire county. She says that was a dramatic drop from 2015 when they spoke to and surveyed 838 people.
There's two factors. One, the weather has a lot to do with it. If it's really cold, we really can't be out there for too long conducting the count with our volunteers. And the second factor is if we don't get enough volunteers, we can't reach as many areas as we would like to.
Those factors help make the count inaccurate sometimes, just like last year. Making the error more obvious was the Harlingen Police Department's own count. Police officers there counted 120 homeless in their city alone.
First of all, we looked through our system and we found about 50. But that's only what we keep record of.
Officer Guillermo Cruz says he and his fellow officers hit the streets and found more people living on the streets than expected. Both Lash and Cruz agree there's not enough data available on the valley's homeless population. Inaccurate data leaves room for error, and the ones who pay the price are those like Chavez.
Like most of us, we just stopped doing what we used to do. Yeah. We got tired and so on. But then we got into trouble because we really have no place to stay.
Chavez is one of hundreds who depend on the Good Neighbor Settlement House.
Chronic individuals need like a program where it's not just 30 days. It would be like a 5 to 8 months program where they can graduate from homelessness and help them out with if they need help on finding a job and applying for food stamps and help them out on all that.
Judith Rodriguez, an associate at Good Neighbor Settlement House, hopes to implement a program to help the homeless.
It is a problem, and that's why we need more data on it. We've seen like gradually increase of homeless, but we need more data on that so we can back ourselves up with that.
The point-in-time count will help generate a clearer picture of what exactly is happening in the community. The city will use those numbers to get federal dollars to help rehabilitate and serve the homeless in all of Cameron County. That money will give the county what it needs to try and make a change for its forgotten citizens. In Brownsville, Gabriela Garza, Channel 5 News at 4.